Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit continues its daily tribute to heroes, patriots, and revolutionaries all this month of February in commemoration of Black History Month. If you've been following along, man, we've had quite a tour throughout this month of February. Every single day, we have outlined one person of historical interest, and it has been a journey. Before I continue with today's entry, let me just take a minute to ask that if you have been following along, either every day or maybe you checked in once a week or every couple of weeks and binge watched, and you've enjoyed this series, take a second, and it's only going to take a second, to like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit. So let's go ahead and let's get started with today's honoree. Today's honoree is Joseph Cinqué. Joseph Cinqué, born 1814, died in 1879. Formerly known as Sengbe Pieh, was a West African man of the Mende people who led a revolt of fellow slaves on the Spanish slave ship La Amistad. After the ship was taken into custody by the United States Coast Guard, Cinque and his fellow slaves were eventually tried for killing officers on the ship in a case known as United States versus the Amistad. After the case was ruled in favor of the Africans in the district and circuit courts, the case was appealed to the United States Supreme Court. This case reached the U.S. Supreme Court, where Cinque and his fellow survivors, fellow revolutionaries, he and his survivors, after they appealed to the United States Supreme Court, they were found to be rightfully defending themselves from being enslaved through the illegal Atlantic slave trade and were freed. Americans helped raise money for their return to Africa. The advocacy of former U.S. President John Quincy Adams, together with Roger Sherman Baldwin, was critical to the Africans' defense. If you don't like guns, you probably don't like your history.